Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it is the Devine Sports Gospel. It is 8 o'clock on Wednesday, March 19th. We are exactly 1 week away, 1 week and a little change away from opening day, baby, for our San Diego Padres. As one season ends for the San Diego State Aztecs, another begins for the San Diego Padres. Me's how we live it, and let's talk a little Aztecs basketball and put a real sayonara to this season.
Yeah, man. Absolutely brutal finish. That being said, team didn't really have it. Them making the tourney, there's a reason they're a bubble team. Didn't work out for them. Got smoked. Obviously, I think we'd all agree. Would have been nice to not get cooked as bad.
They got absolutely demolished. That was the worst performance I've ever seen.
It was bad.
And it was almost so bad that it kind of doesn't even
affect me.
It kind of doesn't even piss me off. Like I woke up this morning and I was like, it's they just got smacked. And I think Nick Boyd had some pretty good comments after the game. He said like we got punked, right? And I do think in a weird way. And I wonder in the chat, also chat, how we living? Happy Wednesday. We're in the second half of the week. Vibes are high right now. I hope you're enjoying your Wednesday night. I will say, I think them getting smacked and embarrassed and being the only national TV game that night, hopefully that brings a little bit more fire going into next year and they play hungrier. We need to get bigger. We need to hit the boards better and we need to shoot better. But that's all we're going to say about the San Diego State Aztecs. Good year. Hopefully our boys come back. Let's talk some Padres baseball, though. That's why a lot of people are here. That is our team. That is San Diego's team. The boys are back. You could get all bent out of shape because there's some legitimate Shia LaBeouf 2003 holes on this roster, no doubt. That being said, how great is it that baseball's back, man? It's the best feeling in the world. We're literally 1 week away for the next 9 months of our lives being all in on the Pods. Almost every single day we got Pods baseball. None of this spring training bullshit. None of this, you got fucking Martin Maldonado batting sixth he's not going to be batting sixth during the regular season, right? I'm just excited, man. The vibes are high. What isn't high is my confidence that Darvish is going to give us 20 plus starts this season.
Yeah.
Darvish, elbow inflammation, not good. Want to hear your take on that? And chat, let us know where you're listening from right now. Put it in the chat where you're listening from. Me and Mike will be back in San Diego next weekend. We can't wait. What were you thinking about Darvish, though?
I mean, it's tough. But again, like we're talking about it, and the reason that we think that, or at least the reason I think they shouldn't trade Dylan Cease, right, is that you're running the risk of some injury trouble with the Pods. It's already happening before the season. Imagine you trade Dylan Cease 2 weeks ago, and then Darvish goes down with an injury, and then you're like, all right, well, we got Michael King and Nick Pivetta and Kyle Hart. Like, who are you pitching, right? Like, at least we are able to get by with a rotation, right? That Darvish isn't a part of if you keep Dylan Cease. Like we have Dylan Cease, the team is still in good shape. Am I bummed that Darvish isn't going to most likely pitch this year? Maybe we're jumping the gun. If you have elbow inflammation, 9 times out of 10, you're cooked. 9 times out of 10. Maybe 99 times out of 100.
I would love to say I think he pitches this year, but I mean, we could read the writing on the walls, right? This motherfucker's arm, he hasn't had like Tommy John in like since I think 2015 or something like that. Obviously that contract isn't looking great if he gets Tommy John. Also, him and Musgrove both being on the IL with Tommy John. That's just tough tickets if you're a Pods fan, right? That's just not what you like to see. Hopefully they make a decision within the next 2 weeks. If Darvish has any shot at pitching this year, hold him off, do something. Like, hey, I would rather him get the surgery now if he needs the surgery and just, this year, move on, whatever, make a trade if we're in the hunt during, the All-Star week or trade deadline. Make a trade, get a starting pitcher, all good. Hopefully Kolek, Kyle Hart, Randy V, some of these guys can give us decent innings. if Yu is somehow okay, you obviously try to have him pitch a little bit, but most likely this dude's cooked. I completely agree. At least for this year. And it sucks, honestly. Like, he's a great dude, and I bet you he wants to be on the field more than us, wanting him on the field. And
I would hope so. I would hope so.
Well, no, I mean, I meant that in the sense of like, dude, obviously it's been a tough year for you, Darvish, right? You have that family stuff last year. We lose that game where he throws a masterclass. Over the offseason, a big argument was that we signed you to get Roki because Roki's mentor was you, and he goes to LA, and now this motherfucker's arm is cooked. So it's like, man, that is a tough, calendar year for our boy Farid Darvish.
Tough
so
stretch.
hopefully he keeps his spirits high. Hopefully he's fine. But I will say, gun to my head right now, 99% he's gonna need Tommy John.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I mean, I'm not penciling in Yu Darvish as a guy who's going to pitch this year.
So, with that being said, Yu Darvish not pitching. How do we look at this rotation? Because let's say we keep Dylan Cease, which is almost for sure until at least the trade deadline now. So you keep Dylan Cease, you keep Michael King, you got Pivetta. Those are 3 MLB arms. Then it's a lot of question marks, man. Then you got Kyle Hart, who, I've liked what I've seen with Kyle Hart. Would love him as a 5 rather than the 4. And then you got Stephen Kolek, who there was a report today. I forget if it was Kevin Acey or someone wrote a thing about how, he's being Michael King's his mentor. Michael King went on record saying he has the nastiest stuff in baseball. He said Stephen Kolek could have the nastiest stuff in baseball, which is a crazy take. But all these pitching models absolutely love Stephen Kolek. So would you say right now our pitching rotation is, if Yu's out for the season, King, Cease, Pivetta, Hart, Kolek, and then you got guys like Matty Nux, Randy V kind of hanging out around the outside?
I don't hate that rotation.
It's not bad. It's not great.
It's
not great.
You got 2 bona fide top
injury away.
starters.
We're one more injury away from being fucking cooked for sure. That being said, and I like
why you get Pivetta. That's why you get Pivetta. Exactly.
I think Pavetta's gonna be a stud too. And the thing with Pivetta, knock on wood, he eats innings, which is good. We need some guys that can eat innings. It's a long season, guys. It's literally gonna start in March 27th, and hopefully it'll end deep into October, maybe even November. So a lot of shit's gonna happen. I'm interested to see kind of how this rotation ends up too. I do think, and Cameron has a great point here. What up, Cameron? One of our favorite guys that rocks with the DSG. I think Eggy, Campy, and maybe a reliever are dealt. What starting pitching we can get back in that deal is to be determined. I don't hate that. Eggy's raking right now too. Like he hit another fucking double last night. I have a feeling Eggy will be a regrettable trade. That being said, I think with the Jose Iglesias signing, I see the writing on the wall with that too. I think Eggy's going to get dealt 100%.
I agree. Let's not act like Eggy Rosario is having a crazy spring. He has a 741 OPS.
He hits the ball hard.
I mean, okay. Like he doesn't jump off the page in a way. Like the one thing I love about Eggy, lifetime pod. I love guys who are
most tenured Padres.
He doesn't honestly have much of a choice because he's in the minors, but he still is a lifetime pod, right? So I do appreciate that.
I'd like to see Eggy get a shot somewhere if he's not going to get a shot with us.
Yeah.
Dude, the dude rakes against lefties. I mean, there's a legitimate argument that he could be a decent, Major League Baseball player. He plays a lot of different positions and he hits hard.
There's a good chat in there from Brosians there. Would you trade Salas for Alcantara?
Without a doubt. Instantly.
Absolutely. Are
Salas,
you kidding?
Love Salas, and I think he'll hopefully become a good Major League player. That being said, right now it's looking like he's going to be a little bit more Austin Hedges than he's going to be Buster Posey.
I agree with that take, but I like you throwing out some heaters at the start of the episode.
Yeah, and I like Ethan Salas. Great defensive catcher already. The argument could be at 18 years old, he's playing against guys 3 or 4 years older than him, and he had a terrible year at the plate last year. That being said, if he balls out this year, he could be a top 10 prospect again. 100%. If he has 800 OPS in the minors this year with his defense, Yeah, see, and Gidgey, I completely agree. You can't judge a 17, 18-year-old. That being said, with where our team is looking at right now, Xander's only getting older, Manny's only getting older. We got 4 more for legit years of Merrill before we're probably going to have to deal that motherfucker because he's going to cost too much. So if you get a chance to get Sandy Alcantara on this baseball team right now, look at this rotation. If we get Sandy, if we trade Ethan, let's say we trade Ethan Salas, Cash Mayfield, a reliever, and something for
that's pretty hefty, bro.
That's what it's going to cost. Our farm is not great.
Coming off of a Tommy John season, you think it's going to cost 2 of your top 4 prospects?
100%.
It's tough.
Our farm isn't great. Our farm is not. I think it's underrated, but it's not a sexy. It's not like we have C.J. Abrams, Robert Hassel, James Wood, all these guys in our farm that are just like we have too many guys to pick. It's not like we're the Baltimore Orioles.
No, I'm with you.
3 years. You get 3 years of Sandy. I think Sandy's like 30 years old. Yeah, I think he has like a mutual option or some shit at the end. But 2 legit years of Sandy. Just had Tommy John. He's throwing not on the innings restriction right now. I trust Preller that he would make the right trade. I also think.
Honestly, I'm looking at his contract. You absolutely do it.
I also think Ethan Salas could be great. And if he's great and is like a franchise catcher and catches 15 years in the bigs and, has a career 750 OPS and makes a couple all-star teams and we trade him for Sandy and we don't win shit, we'll probably look back and regret it. That being said, we're seeing what's happening in baseball right now with the catcher position. Look at our fucking catcher position right now. No one can. The catcher position is it. So I guess I'm curious what you're gonna say. Right when I said that, I kind of like backtracked.
I'm just saying, like, the catcher position is so bad, right?
Yeah.
So you're either gonna have to continue to get some Elias Diaz characters as the years progress, or you
get a guy.
A bit of a risky bet, and it's not that much. Like Ethan Salas would be like a top 5 defensive catcher in baseball. That's his whole calling card. He's MLB ready as a catcher. If the bat develops, you have a rookie contract catcher that is your cornerstone as a catcher, which is something we've never had.
Yeah.
So obviously, any prospect, right?
Not since
Benito. Okay, yeah, sorry, not in our lifetime. We weren't born for Benito. So shout out Bad Bunny. But what I'm saying is, like, we do not have the experience of having a franchise catcher. And if you can lock that down, even if he has a 740, 750 OPS, that's amazing for us. That's what we need. And you run the risk, right? You could trade for Sandy. Pitchers get injured a dime a dozen at this point, man.
I actually agree.
There's no telling that Sandy's. Hey, listen, surgery is great. I hope he comes back healthy. There's no telling that Sandy Alcantara is going to stay healthy for the next 2 years.
So the argument would be, if you trade for, like, if Pavetta's legit, do we necessarily need a Sandy if Michael King and Dylan Cease stay healthy going into the playoffs? You don't. So that I get that. I don't think
so at all.
I actually do get that. Also, shout out Dara, $10 donation. Appreciate you, Dara. Good to see you. I think we should do a 6-man rotation if you is on track to start as a 6-man. If not, let you pitch 120, 140 innings, save that arm for a potential postseason run. Dara, I completely agree with you. Thanks again for the donation. Completely agree with you. 6-man rotation's interesting. Who would you have as a 6-man right now in that rotation? Would you put Matt Waldron, Randy Vasquez? Because I hate to say it, I'd rather do a 5-man rotation than a fucking. If Matt Waldron is coming in there as our 6-man in the rotation, or Randy Vasquez, and they pitch anything I don't want to start a game. And we've felt this before. I mean, especially back in the day, right? Like, if Luis Perdomo was starting, you're like, we're gonna lose. like it's fine, but or way better example, when Jake Arrieta was on the mound in 2021, you don't even need to turn on the game because you're like, we're cooked. We're gonna lose this game. I do not want that feeling. I don't necessarily think Matt Waldron's there yet, but also not a great spring overall. He's been okay. And how he ended last year was really bad. I'm not saying you give up on the guy, but I would much rather have him as depth if someone gets hurt down the road. If Stephen Kolek, gets hurt for whatever reason.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
I think there is some potential out there. You could get a back end starter if you need to get a back end starter. I'm just saying, if you're gonna have to trade for a front line like Sandy, you're gonna give up a lot.
Oh yeah, I don't know if it's worth that.
But I'm saying, like, I trust Kolek, I trust Kyle Hart, right? I think they can take up the 4 and 5. But if you need to get depth, you can shake your head, Matt.
No, I'm not shaking my head. I'm just saying.
If you show me, tell me one or give me 2 rotations in the MLB that have 4 great starters.
Yeah, I agree with you.
3 great starters. Give me
the
2
Braves,
that have great starters.
The Atlanta, Los Angeles Dodgers, absolutely.
No shit, but they pay for everybody, so it's hard to
Okay, if you're not comparing that, well, I mean, you asked a question, so that's one.
I said 2 or 3. I didn't say 1. I said 2 or 3. Name them.
I would say Aaron Nola, legit. Zach Wheeler, legit. Jesus Luzardo, when healthy, legit.
Chris Sanchez. I'll give you the Phillies.
Chris Sanchez.
Give me one more.
Let's look with the Braves. Let's look with the Braves. And this is with Spencer Strider hurt.
Chris Sale,
Ronaldo Lopez, Spencer Schwellenbach. Bro, he's the fucking dude. He's the truth.
3.
He's the truth.
3.
You said 3.
That's 3. I said 4.
Okay, well then I guess AJ Smith's favor.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm saying it's rare.
Mariners, great point. The Mariners are stacked.
Yeah, Brian Woo's thrown 20 innings in the last 6 years. That's his.
Chill out, bro.
I'm just saying.
Chill out.
I'm just saying.
Our boy G-Lo made the chat. Hey, G-Lo, our resident Dodgers. Roki was a beast, baby bro. Stop crying like pussies. LMAO. He walked 5 guys. I get having the rose-colored glasses. He throws fast. He's gonna probably be really good. That being said, outside of splitter, everything else is pretty mid.
That was objectively not a good start.
He literally walked 5 dudes. He walked in a run, and he threw 3 innings. If you're calling that a good start, we might not be able to agree on baseball, because 3 innings pitched, 5 walks is a fucking Who's a guy that used to walk everybody on the pods? I'm trying to think of a pitcher who was like fucking walks McGee when he would start. That's like a Blake Snell. That's an early season Blake Snell, like 2021. But hey, good for you. You guys beat you beat the Cubs, so respect. Let's talk what we're gonna do with this rotation, or not rotation. What we're gonna do with opening day. Perfect example. Opening day next Thursday against Chris Sale, who's DHing. I know we keep saying this every episode. We don't know. I will say this, Mike, and then I'll let you cook. Have we ever been this close to the beginning of the season and not known like 7 dudes that are going to be on this roster? They haven't cut anyone. They haven't, I have a feeling the next week there's going to be a lot of moves. Either people getting.
Your GM today. You're listen. We'd be the worst GMs in baseball, but your GM today. Who are you cutting from the team?
Hey JD, appreciate the donation. Shota had 4 walks. Nerves of guys being in Japan. You gotta stack up and playing in front of your home country, bro. Guy like me, no walks. HB, what's up, brother? Roki about to get. I'm not gonna say that, bro. That's crazy. I'm not gonna respond to that comment. That's insane. Right now, I'm a GM. I keep Connor Joe. I cut Jason Hayward. I keep Gavin Sheets. I
know you're thinking of right now, and I think you have to do it, but
I would say I'd probably send down Tirso because he has an option.
It's not who I was going with, but okay.
I'd send down Tirso. I'd keep Oscar Gonzalez on the team because I know if we send him down, he's going to opt out because he's a good enough player to get a role somewhere else. I hate that I'm going to say this because he's actually the homie and we've sent him shit and like merch and he's the boy. I could see them cutting Tyler Wade. That being said, I could also see him possibly getting through waivers and coming back, which would be huge. And that would be massive. And I think that's actually a legitimate thing that could happen. I think the team's better. And this is as a baseball team, I'm talking only only on the field right now. I'm not talking everything else, like the intangibles, the VAR, all that shit. I think adding Brandon Lockridge over Tyler Wade is probably the smart move. I think B-Lock's faster. So if you're going to have a pinch runner off the bench, B-Lock's faster. He'll steal you a bag. He could play the outfield, and he's not a terrible hitter. He's not great, but he is a solid 4th, 5th outfielder. That being said, given Tyler Wade's relationships with the team, especially guys like Merrill, who we want to keep happy, guys like Toddy, guys like Machado, they all love Tyler Wade. Sometimes you got to keep a guy if it keeps your big dudes happy. Because we cut Tyler Wade and we start off fucking 5-10, and you start hearing rumors that Tyler Wade was a glue piece and now he's gone. That I could see that spiraling quick. What do you have to say?
Yeah, I'm trying to read the chat a little bit and see what people are saying about you. It looks like everybody's just having a little kumbaya.
Yeah, we're having a bunch of
we love the chat. The Padres' latest hype video.
Yeah, I'm going to show that hype video. I'm actually curious, before you get into it, Mike, do you believe in the take that the hype video, who's in it and who isn't, matters? Because I used to, and then Sean was in a hype video once and he got sent down. So I'm like, this is kind of bullshit.
Yeah, you got to think about hype videos like this. It's if you're in the hype video for, let's say, 2 seconds, you know how easy it is to cut 2 seconds out of a video? You could do it in your sleep. Like, it's not like if you're in the hype video, they're like,
I wouldn't say you could do it. Oh, also, talking about the hype video before we get into it, we have someone on this channel right now that was in the hype video for the San Diego Padres today.
I didn't even see it.
I hope everybody knows I posted the tweet, but Mike Devine made the hype video.
Your passion, your drive, your love.
You hear it?
Yeah, I can hear it. You just got terrible Wi-Fi, so it's like frame by frame.
No,
You guys are relentless.
Only I know about my limits. You understand my vision. Coming up building with James, bringing a new definition.
I will say that picture of Hayward, like when he goes low-key aura.
Why does that look like Mark the Shark?
Only I made the decision. Out of the dirt I was risen. I don't want anything less than it.
Strike 3.
A triple play. Merrill Madness.
What a special season for them to choke.
All right. So if you're watching this right now, let us know. Let us know if you recognize a certain individual that's about to come through on the channel.
Manny Machado.
Look at this fucking guy.
Delete.
Look at this fucking guy. Dude, also, what is not seen in this channel right now, what is not seen with Mike absolutely jumping and missing this ball is our mom in Devine deck right behind Mike, who Mike pushed down this ball.
Let me say something though. Look at the crowd there, right? Look at that level and look at the jump I got. I'm in the third deck. I'm in the third row there. If you look at I got some air on there. I was trying to catch that walk off, dude. It was special.
Some Mies thought he was OBJ there. If you're listening to the pod and you're not watching, we have a video. Low key, you're looking kind of ripped in that picture too. You don't have the belly.
I would disagree. I thought I looked like a fucking chubster, but I appreciate the compliment.
This guy in the back, dude, I love these pictures because it shows everybody's face. It is this picture, low-key, if you would have caught this, would have been the coolest thing of all time. Obviously,
you're telling me when it happened, I was like, God damn it. That DSG post when I did the fucking walk-off, like
would have been you catching the man walk-off would have changed our it literally would have
changed our lives.
It would have changed our lives. We would have thrown out the first pitch at a Padres game if you would have caught that. Now they don't even respond to my emails when I ask for media passes. Incredible. This guy, let's before we move on, I'm gonna name the five people that I like the most in this clip outside of you, because there's some absolute characters in here. Let's look. Let's see if I can move this real quick. Let's see. Remove.
G-Lo, too many Dodgers dogs. Mies is getting tired.
You guys are missing him because Mies' head's here. There's a guy. Let me see if I could. Perfect.
There
All
you
right.
go.
This guy on the far right, wearing the shades at night with the Eric Rowan beard. Remember from the White Sox? This guy's a legend. I would say this dude in the tank top. It's just like
He
absolutely.
looks like sketch.
This dude looks like this guy could be in a meme right here. And then let's see who else.
Is the guy down there?
This
No,
guy.
My
And then
favorite
obviously
is the dude two up to the left with me with his hands up. I love that. That's just pure adrenaline.
He's great.
That's just pure
This is
adrenaline.
probably brutal. This is probably a brutal listen if you're listening to the pod on
Did somebody
Spotify.
say reverse tram stamp? Am I tripping here? What
Yeah, it looks like you have the shadow makes it look like you have a tattoo.
Yeah, come on, guys.
Looking
Let's
funny,
be real.
man.
Let's be real.
That was great,
good.
dude. That low key made my day when I saw the video. Oh, we didn't even finish the video. My bad, guys. Let me see.
Oh, dude, I was so close.
That was fun year.
We have a core group that's gone through this together, and we're excited to finish some business.
For the faithful, baby. I love that hashtag. I'm with it. How are you feeling seeing that, thinking about how fun 2024 was as a season, right?
Yeah, I mean, it was a great
It was
season.
an insane. I think about it a lot, actually. Like I'll just be on walks and I'll be like, man, we had a lot of
There's a lot of
fun moments, dude.
The Merrill
Like from
stretch where he hit
walk-offs.
a game tire every single day that we felt like we played.
Bro, walk-offs. We had a no-hitter. We had the triple play. We just had so many moments. And a lot of them were in the second half, too, to be completely honest. Like that
100%.
second half of baseball,
The majority
that 3
of them
months
were.
was incredible.
Dude, we went on a 28-2 stretch.
What do you think?
Or 18-2, 28-2.
Yeah, we were awesome. What do you think has to happen in 2025 to have a special year like that? Because in my opinion, we going into 2024, expectations were low. Because 2023 was an absolute fucking disaster. And we trade Juan Soto in the offseason. Everybody's like, oh, Padres are done. Padres are selling, all that stuff. We have an incredible year. Everybody in San Diego is rallying around this team. We make trades for Luis Arise. We do Tanner Scott, Jason Adam. Like such a fun year. Richard's completely right. We were 50-50 pretty much. So 62 games of good baseball. What are some things we need to do this year to make it better than last year, in your opinion, outside, obviously, playoff success? Is there anything you're looking at specifically? Because I have a few.
Again, Tatis MVP season.
Yeah.
I think that just he is the vibe of the team. When Tatis goes, the team goes. Obviously, we say that about Manny too, but if your stars perform, you're going to make the playoffs. You get paid too much money. And you know what, Matt? Xander should be playing loose because when I say stars, I'm talking about Tatis and Manny.
Yeah.
I'm talking about Merrill. Xander's getting paid $28 million. I don't care. Just be serviceable. Just be a serviceable player. If you put up 2 WARs, Xander Bogaerts, I'll worship. I'm happy.
2?
Yeah. What has he been doing? What has he been doing?
Dude, didn't he have like 2 WAR last year and he was trash?
All right, 3. Sorry,
No,
3.
he needs, bro. I'm saying, obviously, a Toddy MVP season would be incredible. I think the big thing for me, man, I want to see Dylan Cease and Mike King compete for a Cy Young. I want those guys to have Blake Snell 2023, Blake Snell, where you go and he tries to get that big contract. I want both those guys to have that type of season. And it would suck if we lose both those guys. But if those 2 dudes could be the workhorse aces that I think they can be, and that they've shown in stretches of last year, this is going to be a really good baseball team. I think Nick Pivetta is going to be really solid. On the Xander front, I agree. Hey, if Xander Bogaerts can give us 15 homers with a 780 OPS and decent defense at short, we will win 90-plus games with ease. Everybody's like, oh, we're going to be, so many games back in the NOS does not matter. It's never mattered with how many wild card spots there are now. It literally does not matter. So don't worry about the division. Obviously, we'd be sick to win the division. Probably not going to happen. The Dodgers are stacked. Good for them. They're legit. You just got to make the playoffs. That's literally all we got to do.
You can buy a division worlds. You can buy a division ring. You cannot buy a World Series trophy. You can have a great team. You can make the playoffs. Anything can happen. they should not worry about the NL West. Wild card team. They'll be fine. Just got to make the
There's
difference.
there's objectively 4 ways for us to make the playoffs this year. It's playoffs or bust, obviously. World Series or bust. Obviously, I want them to win the World Series. That being said, right now, we're consistently probably ranked between 8 and 11 on the power rankings in Major League Baseball. I think that's legit.
That's good.
It's a good team. And that shows, too, if we get some consistency out of our farm, maybe a couple risers, and Preller is a mastermind when it comes to trading guys, we will make the proper moves at the deadline like we did last year. You'll get a Tanner Scott. I remember, Mike, do you remember my take on Tanner Scott? I was like, I do not want to trade for this fucking reliever who's going to leave us. That was a great trade.
It was a great trade.
Obviously, he left, but I consider that some of the most fun Padres baseball I've ever watched.
Sure.
That was an awesome trade. And I like Robbie Stelling a lot. I wish all those dudes the best that we traded. Outside Robbie Stelling, I honestly forget who we traded for Tanner Scott.
Yeah, Marcy, maybe. He might have been in a Rises trade. I don't even remember.
So it's like, hey, you make the moves. You hope some of these guys get brought up. I think this is a good baseball team, man. And I know we're a week out, and we're going to do an episode. We might do an episode the night before. We might do a season preview on Monday. But I think overall, man, this is going to be a really big year for a lot of reasons. If a lot of bad shit can happen if we don't perform. I think a lot of people are going to get sold off, and I think at the deadline. But that also makes it a little fun in a weird way.
Yeah.
Because we have a lot of contracts. And I'm going to ask the chat this too, and I know this is hard to admit. Let's say the Padres are 5 games under 500 at the trade deadline. You got a lot of dudes to deal. Arise, Cease, King. And if you
that
have
farm system is going to be number 1 next year.
If you trust, and JD's right, the biggest mistake Preller made that year, and obviously hindsight's 2020, not trading Snell and Hader came back to bite. We could have gotten legitimate prospects back, especially for a team that didn't make the playoffs. It's awful because we could have gotten top 3 closer in baseball. We could have traded, and we also could have traded the guy who won the Cy Young. Bad move. It happens. If we're in that same spot next year, and I'm not saying, I actually genuinely think this team's going to make the playoffs and be a World Series contender. That being said, if we're not, we're in a fun spot in a weird way because we can instantly rebuild our farm and probably get some higher end guys that are like close to coming up under control. And then next year coming in, a bunch of new faces, man. And what was fun about last year? It was the emergence of guys like fucking Jackson Merrill and Chella Jerry and like these random ass fools. Yeah. Like that is kind of the fun part of baseball is no one in this chat knows when we do a Devine Deck episode in August, we're going to be talking about a player on the pods that's balling out that we had no fucking clue was even going to be on the team, let alone good. Maybe Gavin Sheets isn't just a fluke spring training and he has 20 home runs come fucking August. Like that's what's awesome about baseball. That's my favorite part about baseball. Last year, Jackson Merrill was a shortstop going into spring training. Now he's a consensus 1 or 2 when it comes to center fielders in all of baseball. Franchise player. He was a fucking shortstop prospect.
Yeah.
There's so much that's going to change. We didn't even have Dylan Cease. We got Dylan Cease like a year ago. Michael King was like, oh, he was a reliever. Hopefully he could be a starter. So much is going to change, man. And I can't wait, bro. Honestly. Yeah. What else you got to talk about, man? Is that I feel like I feel like
we're kind of on the same page here. I mean, it's a little bit antsy, right? The season's about to start.
What are you nervous for?
I'm not nervous. After 2023, man, I'm not nervous for anything. Our expectations this year aren't as high as they were in 2023. You come with a full season of Juan Soto, Blake Snell. Your
2023's expectations were insane.
That's what I'm saying. So, like, now it's kind of gravy, right? Darvish gets hurt before the season, kind of lowers a little bit of expectation.
Did we even talk about the SDSU shit last episode? Obviously, we talked a little bit about it, but, like, this team likes each other, man. I don't know if 2020.
Oh, yeah.
Like, this team, Manny Machado, all this shit, like, there aren't not a lot of baseball players or owners of a MLS team, but having your entire boys flying out to the game on a private jet, You see Tatis and Merrill. Tatis and Merrill have like a budding bromance right now, bro. They're just keep posting fucking Instagram stories of each other, like Hermano, all that shit. You're like, bro, these dudes love each other. That's awesome, right? When your two superstars love each other. Manny, dude, I'm praying for a good season, Manny. I just feel like this team really likes each other, which is
Manny takes a cut. Manny takes a month to get going. He'll be awesome.
We're chilling. Manny's gonna be fun. Hey, I have told Mies this, and I will never do it again. Mike's told me many times. I'll get pissed because Manny will have like 2 bad weeks where he's grounding in double plays like nonstop. And I'll be like, man, what the fuck? And Mike will be like, do not underestimate this guy. Like when he's on, he's still one of, if not, a top 10 baseball player in the league.
So good.
And we witnessed it last year, dude. Second half, Machado was fucking cracked. And the first half, he was recovering from an injury. So hopefully he's not hurt right now. I know people are saying, Alex, what's up? She says, is Manny hurt? I don't think he's hurt. I know he kind of like strained his back randomly. Beginning of spring training, the first week, he legitimately couldn't stop crushing the ball.
Yeah.
Like his first pitch in spring training was a home run. So
that being said, like if he's hurt, man, don't play him. Why is he? Oh, great question, Andrew. I used to make music. And I initially went by Meezus back when Kanye was Yeezus. And since my name's Mike, I put the M in front. Then I cut it down.
You got any takes on Kanye recently or no?
Yeah, I'm glad I changed it to Meez. Let's just put it that way.
We do not.
Yeah,
sorry, we do not condone what Kanye has been.
That was back in like mid 2010s, early 2010s.
Someone asked, why is Meez the parents' favorite? Great question. It's actually our sister who is the favorite, Allie. But yeah, no, Meez. I think Meez probably 1A, 1B. I'm kind of the
fit check.
Black
Fit check. This might be the craziest message of the night. Fit check. I have my Matt Caesar Pods jersey on. Where'd you get that?
Matt Caesar, also great TikTok follow. He's a painter. Caesar Salad, baby. That was a fun team. You got Chim Scampy and Caesar Salad.
That was a fun and ass team.
I want to see my guy Didi Graviner. Thank you for the comment. He says, been a fan since the 70s. I love this team. Since then, I just roll with the flow. We have a solid core. Should be a great year. Can't wait to see what happens. That's my favorite comment of the night.
100%.
Guys, it's so easy to be negative about, especially in a game of baseball where you fail. I know it's a corny quote, but it's true. You get a hit 3 out of 10 times, you make the Hall of Fame, right? Growing up, if you play baseball, that's a classic quote. Your coach is going to tell you when you have a bad game, all that shit. It's true. It's a game of failure. Everything is meant for you to fail, right? So in a world with social media, with douchebags like me and Mike, commenting after games when you go 0 for 4, yo, I think this guy blows. It's very easy to be negative. That being said, hey, be a little bit more like DDG right here and just roll with, hey, we have an awesome, fun baseball team that plays in San Diego, plays where we're all from or all have moved or for whatever reason you love the Pods, which we love you. And we got a fun team, man. And all we got, hey, I'm not hitting. I'm not throwing strikes. All you could do is root for these dudes.
Definitely not throwing strikes.
And I know and I get when people give us crap, they're like, dude, DSG, you're delusionally optimistic, all that stuff.
Yeah.
We are. And guess what? I don't think I'll ever change. I hope I never change. I'll call it how it is. If fucking
you'll call it
when Mike Clevenger blew that game against the Phillies, I still hate Mike Clevenger for that.
Oh yeah, but he also is a bad dude.
Bad dude. I do not like Mike Clevenger for many reasons, but especially that. So we're not going to be always like that, but dude, it's way more fun to be delusionally optimistic than not. Don't you agree?
What's his take by Andrew? I'm not optimistic. I've never seen a glass half empty, baby. It's always been full. It's always been a glass half full. I'm about as optimistic as it gets. Not as much as Matt. There's a bit of realism in some of my takes. I'm coming into every season with the same mindset. I want this team to win, and I believe in them. I'm not looking at Xander Bogaerts and saying, I think you're going to win the MVP award.
Richard, this is a great comment, brother. One of our favorite Dodgers fans. The only thing that can bring Matt down is his low-budget Wi-Fi. Incredible cook. Richard.
Also, Richard's profile picture being Manny Machado striking out. You're a fan, brother. Hey, put that Padres jersey on.
Cody Crush, what's up, brother? Born in Downey, currently live in Long Beach, always been a Padres fan. I love that, man. That's what it's all about. Gidgy, hey, we went 30-10 with Bryce Johnson, a.k.a. BJ, starting right field. Oh, I like this. Yeah, actually, let's do 10 more minutes of this episode. I want to see people's chats. I want to see your hottest take for 2025. What you think could happen. And we'll read them out and we'll respond. I'm starting with my guy, Scott. Scott, you have a beautiful dog, by the way, my brother. Merrill, no sophomore slump this season. That's my take. He shall rake. Scott, I hope you're right. Hey, from your lips to God's ears, please. Jackson deserves it. He's a great dude, good family, and his
one day he'll agree to be on the pod.
MTDP is works in tech, worst Wi-Fi in the Bay. So fucking funny, man. Mojave says, what do you think Merrill will cost to extend? Great question. If you were to extend him before opening day, he would probably ask for 8 years, $200 million. Yeah. Buy out a couple years of his arbitration, and he would be a free agent at 29.
I agree. I honestly think, man, like, look at Tatis's contract, right? It's a steal by all metrics. Contracts are going to get increasingly more insane as the years progress. You could throw him a big fat deal before the season or after next season. If he puts back-to-back consistent years up there, you could put back-to-back and see if he takes it. But it could be something like, hey, we're going to give you 13 years, $380 million or something crazy. I just don't know if the ownership's willing to spend that. And you're laughing, so click whatever you're going to click.
There's a few good comments coming up about it. So thanks, Mojave, for the donation. I appreciate you, man.
Thank you, Mojave.
HB says $2 hitter. Appreciate you, bro. Soto is glazing Tatis. Nino is better than that gambling addict. I mean, you're preaching to the tire, bro. Shohei also, not to go, I watched the highlight today. His first home run of the year. That wasn't a home run. That was bullshit.
That was scripted. That was more scripted than the Royal Rumble Cena return, dude.
You got that home cooking in Japan, bro. Awesome. Let's go. Big Mees, will he make a Dodgers diss track? No.
I'm not. That's up for our boy Ferdy, baby. That's up for our boy.
We'll let Ferdy Raps do that. DD, he said, moved to Oregon, but they'll always be my team. I played and was scouted trying to hit a 90-mile-per-hour fastball is harder than you think, much less with all the movement. Spot Very on, true. Brother. Hey, but that being said, DD, hey, we might need you. If I have to see Martin Maldonado bat too much, I might need you to dust off the old boots, brother. Christian, what's up, brother? You said Brett Sullivan is greater than Campy and Maldonado. I actually don't hate that take. I hate the fact that we're going to have to get rid of Sully because I just don't see him getting put on the team over Campy, Maldi, or I think Elias Diaz will start opening day. And I think the backup, gun in my head, and it pains me to admit it, I think it's going to be Maldonado is going to be our backup catcher on opening day. And we're going to have to get rid of Sullivan. And hopefully we can deal with it.
I will say, like, and I love Brett Sullivan. He's probably a great guy.
Stockton guy.
Stockton king, like, don't get me wrong.
Like Elias
Sully. Let's not act like us getting rid of Brett Sullivan is like a crazy move. Yeah, they're all bad. They're all like objectively not good hitters. They can all play defense, but if you're looking at like averages, right? Brett Sullivan has a 540 OPS this spring. He has a career 610 OPS in the major.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good point.
It's like, am I going to take Elias Diaz as a starter? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Right? Am I going to take Maldonado over Brett Sullivan as the utility? Maldi's a better catcher. They probably have very similar OPSs to be completely.
No, Maldonado is genuinely statistically, Mike. I showed it 2 episodes ago. He had a 15 OPS plus, bro. That is the word. If you guys are bored, actually, F it. This is a time. This might become a new game where it's like, how many times could I show Martin Maldonado's baseball reference before I get over it? Because it's the most shocking thing I've ever seen. He is so bad when it comes to hitting. He makes Austin Hedges look like Joe Mauer at the plate. Let's look at this guy real quick. Martin Maldonado, if you're watching at home or if you're listening at home, career 70 OPS plus. So he's pretty much 30 degrees off an average Major League Baseball hitter. career 622 OPS, shitty on-base percentage, less than 300. But let's look at his last year in the bigs, which was with the Chicago White Sox. Negative 1.3 wins above replacement. He batted 119 with a 403 OPS. I did not know it was possible to do that. He had 147 ABs.
Let me raise you one here, though, because you did mention one guy that you said looks like Barry Bonds. So I looked up Austin Hedges' stats. 2023 OPS plus 16.
Holy shit, really?
2024 OPS plus 21.
He has a worse, I mean, he's a worse hitter career-wise.
Scroll down at this guy's stats, man. Look at how bad his stat. 467, 489, 422, and he gets like $3 million deals because he's a good clubhouse guy.
Clubhouse guy, and he's solid defensively. He's like a perfect. So, actually, a decent point, Mike. This argument, Austin Hedges being on, he won a ring with the Rangers, and then he was on a really good Guardians team. He's been on a lot of good baseball teams recently. Obviously, the Pirates, when he was on them, they sucked. And when he was on the Pods, we sucked. But he's been on some solid baseball teams, right? As the backup guy. I could understand if Preller's like, hey, as a backup catcher, I value defense way more than I value anyone. I don't care if he's an automatic out. I'd rather have Martin Maldonado back there to help with our pitchers than Campy. Do you think he's going to do that? Because I actually could see that being the reason, just straight up.
Yeah.
He'll be like, Campy is so much worse of a defensive catcher than Maldi that his bat doesn't even come close to making him even value.
That's really the give and take, right? Like you're like, all right, I mean, how good is his bat to not be able to Campy's value is greater than Martin Maldonado's if the strike zone system of challenging is in place, but it's not. So Martin Maldonado does have some value because he knows how to catch. He can throw.
Yeah. All right, let's look at some more comments. Appreciate you, Christian. That was we went on a little tangent there. Sorry about that.
That was good.
That was good. Andrew Lee, Gavin Sheets will become the next Jerkson Profar.
Like that.
I have a lot of Gavin Sheets will be funny because if he does end up becoming like that, what an awesome, 28-year-old that figures it out in SD, was playing on the worst team in baseball history last year, gets to play in the sunshine, gets to play with a bunch of stars, and he figures it out. I think he could be the Max Muncy when Max Muncy went to the Dodgers from the A's as a DFA guy and found a home in LA and became a really valuable player. I think Gavin Sheets, 100 percentile of what he could be, is that. I think he's worse defensively than Muncy, a little less position. You can't play third base and shit, even though Max Muncy's a shitty third baseman. But I think Gavin Sheets has enough pop in his bat to be a 20 home run guy if he gets consistent ABs. And I'd love to see it. Fuck it. Why not? Jackson Merrill wins. Andrew, what's up, Andrew? Jackson Merrill wins MVP in his sophomore year. What are your thoughts on his extension? Love the prediction. I think he is a sneaky MVP guy this year. I haven't seen a lot of people put Michael King as a Cy Young pick, and I haven't seen a lot of people put Merrill as an MVP pick. I would put $100 on both, and you might win a lot of fucking money. Thoughts on the extension? I think, unfortunately, that ship sailed. Hopefully, he continues to have incredible years. And let's say we win a ring this year, I could see him extending with us after that. That would be the least of our problems. We wouldn't have to worry. If we win a ring, we won't have to worry about the extension. Let's just say that.
Blank check.
Eric, when are we getting the Mies freestyle? We hit 2K.
Jesus. All right. Not tonight, but next episode, I'll get something going.
Next episode, he's not really a freestyle guy, but he might make a song for the maybe make a little preseason pod song, an anthem.
Yeah, maybe I'll make an intro for the gospel.
Yeah. So on record right now, next Monday we're gonna have a new intro by Mies for the gospel, and it will be our go-to going forward during the season. Javi, what's up? Matt goes full doomer by early July. Hilarious.
Could happen.
Also could happen. If we just suck and it's just let's hope that never happens, but it could happen. Crony gets back on track, wins a Gold Glove at second. Slim Jim Tim. We haven't brought up Crony once this episode. That would be incredible. Jake Cronenworth at second base, valuable player. Jake Cronenworth as your first baseman, not valuable player. If Jake Cronenworth could be a 750 OPS guy and win a Gold Glove,
dude.
Hey, run into
That's a
15
steal
home
of a
runs.
contract. That's
Run
a
into
steal of a
15, 20 home
contract.
runs.
Crone can
Let's
hit
go.
the homer. Crone can hit the homer. He needs to hit a little bit more
He
for
needs to hit more
average.
doubles.
He might get his third All-Star.
Tyler Ellison, Michael King, Cy Young. Love that, brother. Alex, Padres have a great team. Dodgers are just cracked. Spot
Also
on.
very true.
Spot on team. Great. Jason, what's up, man? Chella Jerry becomes a closer at the break and gets 20 saves. I would love that.
I like that.
I would love that. Chella Jerry, man, he's a likable guy. His interviews, I think Sammy Lev interviewed him yesterday. He is a very likable dude and very easy guy to root for. His stuff's nasty. I feel like him and Ruben have a fantastic relationship. I would love that. Andrew says Elias Diaz will be the next Higgy. Man, I'm digging this optimism, team. I like this a lot. You never know. Hey, who was the last Padre to win All-Star Game MVP? Chat. 2023. Or a guy on the Padres right now to win that. Elias Diaz, 2023 All-Star Game MVP.
That's good. All right.
Hey, people forget. Merrill putting up better numbers than last year this season. That would be awesome because he was cracked last year. My friend KC, Kolek pitches like last year's King, kills it for us in the starting rotation. We didn't have a lot of confidence in Michael King going into the season. Also, Michael King might have won the Cy Young if he didn't start the season off giving absolutely Mikey meatballs, bro. I think he gave up like 11 home runs in the first month.
He finished
He
with
gave
the
up like
under
3
ERA.
He gave up like 3 home runs since.
Yeah.
What up, Jonathan? Don't be sorry, man. Appreciate you hopping in, man. Estrada takes the closer role. Suarez gets dealt. Tirso gets called up mid-season in balls. Cammy, love those takes, brother. Cody Kush, only team in 2025 to not get swept. That's my hot take. That would be awesome. I like that too. Jonathan says, my sink disposable erupted. Call me a plumber. Hey, anyone know a good plumber? Is it Bill Howe?
We know how.
We know how, baby. My guy, Bleacher Bum, we got to get you on here, bro. I know you reached out. Kyle Hart, 14-5 with a 3.64 ERA. Now, that is the type of hopium I'm talking about, man. If the hitman Kyle Hart, can give us 14 wins and a 3.64 ERA, Bleacher Bum, we'll make the playoffs one. And at the playoffs, at Bubs, we're buying you a picture of whatever you want if that happens. So make sure to save this video because I hope it happens, and I would love to buy you whatever it is because the hitman would be awesome. Christian, we have Hoeing for 4+ years. He should slowly start getting stretched out. I love the idea that Brian Hoeing could be kind of like a Nick Martinez swing guy and then maybe next year start being a starter. We're seeing in baseball now more than ever, Jeff Hoffman, even Stephen Kolek, a lot of these reliever guys who are getting stretched out. I don't know if Brian Hoeing, does he have like a 4 or 5 pitch mix? He's tall. He's got a good starter.
Real splitter character there.
Yeah.
Splitter character.
And the splitter's in right now, man. We see it everywhere. Padres burner. This is a hot one. The Seidler Bros fire Preller.
Come on.
What would have to happen to have him fired after the last few seasons? Outside, something like internal where he like does some like sketch shit.
Pivetta has a bad year or something. I don't know. I don't see how they fire him. Before AJ Preller took the reins, no one showed up to the games before him and Peter took over the team, essentially. Now it's a sellout every single game. It's going to be another sellout every single game for the entire season.
He's not going to
works.
I'd be more, my hot take is I'd be more nervous that
he leaves
than him getting fired.
I agree.
But like we asked for hot takes and Padres burner. Great Twitter follow if you're a Padres fan. Really appreciate that comment. That's a good one. Gidgy says camp in Robert Suarez for Ivan Herrera and Michael McGeevy. DFA Hayward before opening day. Have Tirso start in left versus righties. I love everything you're saying. Don't think it's going to happen.
I don't think the Cardinals trade Ivan Herrera is the only thing.
I also don't know why the Cardinals would trade for Robert Suarez when they have Ryan Helsley, right? Like, I feel like that the Cardinals are also a team right now where they have a lot bigger issues than Robert Suarez and Campy, right? I think they are in.
Also, Ivan Herrera
needs to do full rebuild, to be completely
Ivan
honest.
Herrera had an 800 OPS last year in the majors, like as a catcher. That's like, if you think you're giving up Camp and Suarez for that, you're giving up Salas.
John,
Like a flyer.
our guy John Merrill turned out an offer during the offseason. Can't be making the team and is going to hit over 220. That is a realistic take. I don't even think that's too high. Hopefully, if Campy's not hitting over 220, we got some big problems.
Oh, I like that. Live Jay Drizzy, live podcast from the couch this spring. We'll do a couple Modelo streams. We'll try to get a few live pods going.
Hector, I love it. 95-67 record. Sign me up. Normal heights. Oscar Gonzalez ends up starting left fielder. We got some good ones. Oh, Guion. That's a crazy one. Tirso has a better rookie season than Merrill. That would be nuts. You never know, though. DD can hit Kyle Hart. He throws 85. 91, bro. Be nice. Let's see. Jorge. Pre-gaming at Bubs on opening day. DSG. Modelo time. Mike is unfortunately. Can you tell the people that you are the unfortunate news about me?
Yeah. I'll be there on Friday night. Not going to be able to make the Thursday game due to
L's in the chat. L's in the chat.
So I won't be there. However, we will be there on Friday night, and I hope to see everybody out there. First Friday of the season, little Atlanta Braves, assuming we're probably, especially with you out, throwing Dylan Cease. So it should be a good game. Regular season Dylan Cease is special. So I'm excited to watch that first game of the season.
Richard has a very interesting point. Merrill's legit, but his biggest flaw, he doesn't walk. I have noticed that is just another level. And the thing with Merrill, too, is like that if that's the part of your game you need to work on, he just needs to talk to Juan Soto. All that motherfucker
Who else doesn't walk on the team?
Manny walks, Toddy walks.
Batting champion.
Arise.
Now so if Arise doesn't walk and he knows how to hit really well and he has a good contact, and Merrill does the same, except Merrill can hit for power, I'm okay with it.
Yeah, I actually do agree with Richard, though. I think to get to the next level, maybe Merrill works on, getting his, being able to walk more, because I'd rather him get on base, given his speed too. If you're doing 10 ABs, one more walk over a flyout could be the difference between
absolutely.
No, Richard's point, I agree with that. Great point, Richard. I appreciate that. Reaction to Big Bro betting takes. All right, let's look. Any other ones? I know Mike has to use the whiz. Jake says bro has no PTO. Great cook.
Yeah.
Manny never walks. Arise. When is the DSG Wings and Things meetup? Dude, honestly, maybe this weekend. Maybe we mess around on Saturday before SDFC. Maybe we do that. Yeah, if you see us on Friday, come up, kick it.
Section 132, baby.
Hey, man, if you guys and girls at home, if you could like this stream, means a lot. Helps push our video out. We had 150 people in here on YouTube. Absolutely insane. We appreciate all of you. It's going to be an awesome year. Hope everybody has an awesome weekend. I'm actually going to be in Arizona for a bachelor party, and I'm probably going to the game on the Padres Diamondbacks game on Sunday. So if you're at spring training, hit me up. We can kick it. And I can't wait, man. It's gonna be a great. It's gonna be a great year. Appreciate everybody watching, and I hope everybody has a wonderful rest of your night. And we'll talk to you Monday. Later, Mies.
Later.